Hi, this is Priya Parthasarthi, and I'm back with another episode of Demystifying Digital. This week, I'll be talking to you about digital advertising. Now, think of the daily newspaper that you buy. If you look at the various sections of a newspaper, the front pages are for headline news or breaking news. The inner pages are devoted to politics and economy, and the last pages are probably reserved for sports in most newspapers. The supplements carry information about music, arts, and cinema. And in a household, normally the parents read the front pages or the inner pages. The children probably gravitate towards the sport pages. When advertisers choose a newspaper to put their ads, they place their ads depending on who is most likely to read a section of the newspaper. For instance, the front pages always carry advertisements on real estate, cars, jewelry, the very expensive types where the decision is made by the heads of the family. Whereas the sports section might feature brands that target the younger audience, say coaching classes for IITG or biscuit ads or fast food ads. Now imagine if the daily newspaper were a single sheet of paper. When you look at it, you are seeing news about the economy and the stock market and advertisement for a bank. Now when your daughter sees it, she sees news about the tennis tournaments and advertisements on a brand that sells tennis rackets. Wouldn't that be cool? This is what digital channels do. They show you information that you want to see and also advertises brands that's interested in you. If you are paying say 3 rupees for your daily newspaper, that 3 rupees barely even covers the cost of the newsprint and the printing cost. So how does the newspaper recover all their other costs? The cost of sourcing content, the salaries they pay the journalists, and so many other costs in running a newspaper. It is only recovered from advertisements. So the advertisements pay for the expenses of the newspaper, their profit. The same thing happens on social media. To us, social media appears free to use, right? But how do social media channels make money? Only by advertisement, just like newspaper. While in social media, printing costs are replaced by technology maintenance costs. However, social media channels do not supply content because all the content on social channels are produced by you and me. We are the ones who are actually providing them with content. Because their costs are less, they are able to charge much less to advertisers. That is why social media advertisements are much more economical than placing ads in a newspaper or television channels. That is why even small businesses are able to afford to place their ads on social media channels. There are two kinds of advertisements on social media. The first variety is the direct advertisements, where they target ads based on your demographic profile and your interests. Demography means your age, your gender, the place where you live. These are information that you supply to a social channel when you create an account mostly. It does ask you for your date of birth, where you live. If you don't give also, it will identify that through GPS location on your phone. On top of that, if you post say something about your marital status or when you celebrate anniversary, you are constantly supplying data to social channels and they keep track of each and everything that you post. Then by your actions, you supply data. We say you join a Facebook group about vintage cars. You're somebody who's interested in vintage cars and you join a group that is discussing about vintage cars. Now immediately the social media channel will record this point under your name as somebody who's interested in cars. So next time, say a car manufacturer or a used car salesperson comes and wants to place an ad on say Facebook will actually tell them to show their ads to this group of people. If your name is under this group of people who've been classified as those who like cars, you will automatically be shown that ad. So you are chosen specifically by a group of people who want to advertise to a certain set of audience. So nothing is accidental. Any ad that you are shown is only based on your demographics and your actions. The more you stay on social media, the more you interact with others and on social media, the more data you are giving to these channels to classify you further and further and further. So when you start out, Facebook may not have so much details about you, but as and when you keep interacting with these pages and groups, they get more data about you, and that helps them refine their targeting. Now, there is a second group of ads. They're called retargeting ads. Some people consider this almost as magic. You would have definitely experienced this kind of advertising. For instance, you are on Facebook, you're browsing through your wall, and then suddenly you remember that you have to order some pillowcases. So you close the Facebook app, you open the Amazon app on your phone or Flipkart app, whichever, wherever you'd like to shop, and then you look at pillowcases that are listed there. You keep looking. After some time, you're not sure which one to select. Then you decide, okay, maybe I'll wait for my children to come back from school and help me choose. Maybe they like a particular color. And then you close the app. Then you come back to Facebook to continue what you were doing, browsing. And then, lo and behold, suddenly the very same pillowcases that you were seeing on the Amazon or Flipkart apps suddenly make an appearance on your Facebook wall. It seems like magic. Now, how did Facebook know? I mean, how can they do this? It's very simple. On digital channels, wherever you are, wherever you go, you leave a trail of breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. These are pieces of codes that track your movements. If you go from one app to another, you are leaving a trail. And this is used by advertisers to target people. When Amazon places an advertisement on Facebook, they would have specified that show the products that somebody viewed within half an hour of their having viewed that whenever they come to your channel. And that's it. If you've seen something there, that is recorded. And when you come to Facebook and you're doing something, those same products get shown to you. And they do it because they think by showing it to you, by exposing you to it again, they can convince you to buy immediately. At the end of the day, they're interested in you making a purchase. If you're a business owner, or if you're a book publisher, or if you're an author who's just written a book and you want a lot of people to read it, or if you own a small boutique shop, any of these activities can be promoted on social channels by using all these factors. By first of all, if you know who you want to target, then social channels give you an easy way to go and place advertisements targeting those precise people. You can even precisely target based on which pin code they live in, whether they're married, whether they have children under the age group of 5, whether somebody likes badminton, whether somebody likes cricket, whether somebody has changed houses in the last 5 years. Like imagine showing shaving razor advertisements to women or showing sanitary napkin advertisements to men. Would they be as effective? A very small percentage might take a note of the brand name and suggest to other person in their lives, but most probably they're just going to ignore it because it's not something that they're ever going to use. So precise targeting is very important. So showing advertisements only to people who will value the product that is being shown makes sense for advertisers. That way they can get more conversions. Then there are also advertisements on search engines where people go and search for certain things, right? So on Google, when you search for a term, say you're searching for when is the date for Vinayak Chaturthi in India, immediately you could be shown an ad about puja items because they know that somebody who's interested in Hindu festivals would be performing puja, so they target you like that. So advertisements on search engines are based on what you search for, where you openly express a desire to know about a certain thing, and then businesses that cater to those kind of needs then show their ads to you. Whereas on social channels, you are not expressly saying what you want, but your profile as an individual, as to who you are, what you do, what you like, all of that is captured by your activities. So based on the profiling of who is most likely to use a certain product, advertisements are shown. So these are the two different types of advertisements on the digital channels, where one is based on what you search and one is based on your general behavior, that is on social channels. That is it for this week's Demystifying Digital. For more topics simplifying digital to you, subscribe to my channel. See you next week. Bye.